Today, I'm going to show you how we make a market bouquet here at PepperHarrow. And we're just going to go do it out in the field. So let's head out there and I'm going to cut a market bouquet and show you all how we get it done.
Like a wild man, sleeping like a child. You're so luminous and vibrant.
The first thing we're going to do is cut some greenery for our bouquet. So this is beautiful cinnamon basil. And cinnamon basil can get a little bushy, but all I'm going to do is take this piece and strip off the sides. And I'm left with a little piece here that I'm going to use for my market bouquet. Whenever you start a bouquet, the first thing to do always is to start with a piece of greenery. So I'm going to start with this beautiful cinnamon basil here, and this is going to be the base of my market bouquet. A lot of people struggle with cinnamon basil because you actually have to wait until it's mature with blooms on before you can cut it. If you cut it before there are blooms showing, it'll wilt and not hold very well. So the more it ages on the stem, the better it is to use this greenery filler in a bouquet.
An infatuated light. Although it hurts me to be with you, I'm always in bloom.
The next thing I'm going to do is include some zinnias in my market bouquet. And I always give my zinnias a wiggle test just to make sure they're ready. You can see this is nice and firm, so it's ready to be cut. I'm going to cut it as long as I can. And we field strip here, so I'm just taking the leaves off. And that's going to be one of the zinnias in my bouquet. Look, it's crazy. It's the same height. I think I'm just trained to it, like from an eye standpoint, to do them at the same height. I'm going to do 2 zinnias in my market bouquet. This is a little bit loose. This one's firm. Ready to go. Just strip it off. Now I have 2 zinnias ready to go with my greenery. The method behind my madness of putting together this bouquet is that I want to have a piece of greenery, I want to have a couple focals, and I want to have some different kind of textures and shapes. I'm going to put this salvia in my bouquet, not only because I think this purple is a really nice pop of color, but because of the shape. It has a really nice conical shape that's going to add a lot of interest into my bouquet. Not only from color, like I said, but it has a really nice shape. So it's going to really set this bouquet off. I'm really looking to just get probably 10 stems of different items to put in my bouquet, 10 to 12. I'm going to leave it pretty simple, but you're going to see what we put together here with the other stems I get. So I'm going to cut a couple pieces of salvia. And I stripped off the bottom of the greenery. I'm going to tuck it in. You may have to take off a few additional stems. Okay. So I have actually two stems of salvia, even though it's about 4 blooms. You can see the beautiful pop of color it adds into this bouquet. It looks absolutely stunning. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stems in here so far. Let's go collect a few more. The next thing I'm going to add into my bouquet is Strawflower. And I love Strawflower because it's a really unique bloom. It's going to look beautiful with our bouquet here. And I have some nice blush Strawflower, but there's also some beautiful kind of maroon color in here that will really complement my bouquet. Now, the thing to keep in mind for Strawflower, like many summer blooms, is that you have to give it the wiggle test. Like I did with the zinnias, I gave it a wiggle test. Strawflower, you have to give it the wiggle test. Gomphrena, many of these flowers throughout the summer, you have to give it a wiggle test. If it flops back and forth, it's not ready to be cut. So an example of that is if we do this Strawflower, it's a little bit firm, so this one might be okay. I'm wiggling this one and it's flopping back and forth. It's not ready to be cut. If I cut it right now, it's gonna flop over and not hold its bloom in my bouquet. I have one here that I'm gonna cut. It's nice and firm. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. Strip my greenery. Now I have to find a few others to pop in here. Let's see if these are ready. A little bit floppy. Oh, this one's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get it. I'm just gonna put 2 pieces in here. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to have a ton. We do usually like to do things in odd numbers. Here I have used 2, which is a little bit odd. I did use 2, which is a little bit different. We don't usually do that. And then I put in 2 Strawflower, but typically we'll do 3 stems of each or 1. So it's nice to do things in odd numbers. Keep that in mind. So I'm going a little bit against the grain here, but you can see how beautiful it looks. Already I'm like, I would buy this bouquet all wrapped up in the grocery store. I'm gonna add in just a few more things into my bouquet here. And we just walked up to this Amaranth. I'm totally gonna put a piece of this Amaranth in. And again, I kind of give it the see if it flops test. And if it's firm, I'll go ahead and cut it. It just started blooming, so it's a little bit immature. I definitely want more of a mature bloom. Holy cow, this is way too big. I need to find something a little bit smaller. Here's the great one. Okay, I'm gonna do this. But I love the Amaranth because of the color, and again, it's just another shape to go into my bouquet. Now I am getting a lot of these conical looking flowers here, like the salvia and the greenery actually from the basil. I'm going to need a little bit more solid flowers like my zinnias here, but this is going to be a really nice addition into this bouquet. So we're at 7 stems now. I'm going to add a couple more. This purple Celosia is so gorgeous. I have to put it in. It's going to be a nice pop of color. You can see how bright and bold we're getting. It just looks so amazing. I can't resist it, actually. So I'm going to cut a couple pieces of this. Oh yeah, wow. Boom, so good. If you see these bugs on your Celosia, they're actually good bugs. They're soldier beetles, and they're considered to be a beneficial insect in the garden. So I have my pieces of Celosia in here. I have my gorgeous Amaranth, all of the good things. You can see how beautiful this looks. So right now we're up to, I think, 8? I think we're up to 8 blooms in here. I need to add a couple marigolds just to balance this out. So I'm going to add in my orange marigolds just to complete the look. Let's go grab them. Oh, and here we are. They were right behind me. I didn't even know it. So yeah, these are our marigolds. You can see how tall and bountiful they are. They're looking a little bit weaker from a bloom standpoint because we just harvested out every single stem we could muster yesterday. So I might have a little bit of a challenge ahead of me, but I'm gonna find 2 blooms to put in here. And I'm not opposed to like putting some of these smaller ones in because they will continue to open and they actually look really pretty and not too overpowering in a bouquet. I think I could get lost in these marigolds right now. Do you see me? No. All right. I like to cut off the extra pieces of greenery. And if you don't like a really strong marigold scent, take off as much of the greenery as possible. It really helps reduce some of the fragrance that they give off. Some people really love the smell of marigolds, some people don't. I'm curious to know if you guys actually like the smell of marigolds. Is it nostalgic for you or do you completely dislike it? All right, so I have 2 in there. I'm gonna do one more marigold because I've been doing everything in odds, and I'm just gonna I've been doing everything in evens. I'm gonna put one more in just to make it an odd number to complete the bouquet. So one more marigold. So I have my bouquet ready. It's going to go to market. And a lot of you asked about pricing for these bouquets. I would take this bouquet and sell it for $25 at market. And we're around 10 to 12 stems, so roughly a couple dollars a stem retail. And this is what I would take, $25. We're going to take it inside and we're going to wrap it up to be able to take to market.
Jen made that market bouquet. I'm going to show you again how we wrap bouquets here on the farm. Okay, we have our 18 by 18 piece of craft paper, and we fold it in half. And if you can see, I keep it about an inch down. And that is when you have a big stack of these folded, they're easier to take apart than if they're all like that. We have our paper ready to go. We layer bouquet on top, and actually lay my bouquet just a little bit up taller. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna seat it in, make a little cradle, just fold the top like that. I pinch the bottom like this, and if you're making your burrito, you're going like this. Don't do that. Go ahead and take it and wrap it around like this. So you see I got a nice big flare, and it looks like a little uncomfortable right now, but you'll see what I mean once we get it put together. So now I have it. You can see it's like nice and poofed out, and I'm gonna seat the bouquet in there just a little bit. And look, you have this nice and snug at the bottom and this nice big wide opening to display the lushness of this beautiful bouquet. And that's how I wrap bouquets here on the farm, y'all.
We hope you all enjoyed today's video on how to make a market bouquet. If y'all had a favorite part, please comment below. And as always, like and subscribe.
Yeah, totally like and subscribe.
Smash that like button.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, and as always, thanks for joining and happy growing.
See ya, y'all.